Midway. No. Good afternoon, Midway. I'm Miss Vickery.
And I'm Miss Dove.
And it's such a beautiful sunny day. We're excited that we get to read to you chapter 14 of
Because of the Rabbit.
Because of the Rabbit. Now, I've got to put on my glasses so that I can actually read to you. Okay, we're learning today comparing the chapter to rabbits, that rabbits are territorial and to be very careful and respectful when you're reaching into a rabbit's space, or you may be charged at or even bitten. So that's kind of like kindergarten. Everybody needs their own personal space. The rabbit needs his too. All right, here we go. For the first time since school started, I was excited for lunch. I had a place to go, a seat waiting for me at a table with other fifth grade girls. It only been for today, since I was just a substitute for Nora, but maybe I could be a regular on Nora's book club day. When I reached the table, all the chairs were full except one with a spiral notebook that said Elise across the top. As Elise moved the book for me, I felt like I was floating inside. Hi, I grinned and sat down. They all looked nice. Everyone said their names, but I was concentrating so hard on looking friendly that when they were done, I didn't remember a single one of their names except for Leah, Iris, and Elise. Emma's never been to school before, Iris said. She was homeschooled. I sighed. Did that have to be the first thing the other girls knew about me? So, what do you think of public school? A black-haired girl asked. Well, parts of it are fun, I said, but it's too long. They all laughed. You can say that again, the black-haired girl said. I'm ready for another vacation. I gave her a real smile, and it felt good that I had made them laugh, even if it had been by accident. I'd hate being homeschooled, the girl with the pigtail said. I'd be so bored being at home all day with nothing to do. I opened my mouth to say I hadn't been bored, but everyone else was nodding like they agreed with her. When they got to know me better, it'd be easier to tell them the truth, but for now it seemed more important just to try to fit in. I wanted to give public school a try and see if I liked it. You should join chorus, the girl with the pigtail said. That's super fun. We even go to a concert in Boston every year. I grinned. That did sound like fun. Do you play sports? Elise asked. I nodded. But I haven't had many chances to be on a team. I really like. Time for lunch, I heard behind me. Uh-oh. I thought Jack understood I was having lunch with Leah's group today. Hey, Jack, I said. I'm sitting here today, okay? Yes, he said. As soon as he was too far away to hear, Leah said, I'm sorry you got Jack as a partner for our presentation. He can be hard to talk to. I couldn't tell if she was saying that to be mean or just stating a fact. Unless it's about animals, I agreed, unwrapping my sandwich. That wasn't mean. It was just the truth, right? He's why Miss Martle comes to our room, Leah explained. She acts like she's there to help out with everyone, but really she's Jack's aide. When he was little, he used to throw tantrums, remember? She raised her eyebrows to the other girls. Wild tantrums, Elise agreed. And be careful what you tell him. He doesn't always get that some things are private. Iris groaned. Remember last year, Akira? The black-haired girl rolled her eyes. He told Miss Keller about the surprise party we were throwing for her, even though we told him not to. Elise, Akira? I willed myself to remember all these names until I could write them down in the back of my assignment notebook. She called us making some decorations, Akira said. She asked what they were for, and he just told her the truth. I'm glad he's not in my class this year, Elise said. I tried to concentrate on my sandwich, but I was just squirming inside. It didn't feel good talking about Jack, even if everything they said sounded true. I felt lucky the other girls didn't know the mistakes I'd made when I was younger, too. Like the time I locked my whole family out of our house and it was snowing. We had to wait in the barn until a locksmith came. Or the time I accidentally ate some dog biscuits because they were in a plain plastic bag and looked like crackers. Friends can tease you over dumb things like that, and it's funny. But if you're not friends, it hurts. Maybe if these girls knew those things about me and a bunch more, they wouldn't want to be my friends either. I wished I hadn't rolled my eyes about Jack with Leah. Leah took a bite of her sandwich. Ugh, I told Mom not to ask. I asked Mom for no pickles. I don't know why she can't remember that I don't like them. She smiled at me. Oh no. I fought to keep smiling as Leah plucked pickles out of her sandwich and put them on her napkin. You can have them, Emma. I wanted to say thanks because it was a friendly thing that she was sharing something with me, but that's okay, really. It's no problem, she said. I don't like them. 6 pickle slices? Oh, yum, I said, trying to sound excited as she slid the napkin to me. Would anyone else like some? I don't want to hog them all. I don't like pickles, Iris said. No, thanks, Akira said. Leah was still smiling at me, so I took a nibble off the edge of the first pickle. I wanted to make a horrible face, but I forced myself to nod. I took another tiny bite and moved the pickle piece way over to one side of my mouth away from my tongue. I think my family is going to the movies on Saturday, Iris said. If we do go, do you want to come, Leah?
Leah sighed. I wish. But we're going to New Hampshire to see my grandparents. It's so boring. It's a really long ride, and then we just sit in their living room and talk. Or actually, mostly I listen to the adults talk. I just nod and say, uh-huh, every now and then. The girls all laughed, but it was still hard for me to talk about grandparents, especially with kids who still had theirs. So, does anyone have pets? I asked. I have a gray tiger cat, said Akira. The girls with the pigtail laughed. Tell Emma his name. I named him when I was little, Martha, Akira protested, laughing. Elise, Akira, Martha? What is it? I took a bite of my sandwich to take the pickle taste away. Akira shrugged. Ketchup? The other girls were laughing. It seemed okay to laugh, too. That's funny, I said. Martha had a cat named Jake, and Iris didn't have any pets. My dad is allergic, she said. I have a dog named Bear, Leah said. He's a black lab, but he thinks he's a lap dog. Leah had been so nice to give me her pickles, and she even had a dog. Nice plus pet lover equals perfect best friend possibility. I have 2 dogs named Molly and Maggie, I said, excited to finally find something fun that we both like to talk about. And we just got a rabbit named Lappy. Wow, I love rabbits, Leah said. I've always wanted one, but my parents think Bear would scare a rabbit. Lappy actually bosses our dogs around, I said, grinning. When he gets racing and hopping, it freaks them out. Lappy? Sounds like he has to go to the bathroom, Iris said. If you got another rabbit, you could call him Lapoop. The girls all laughed. I smiled, like I found it funny, too. The name was special to me, though, and definitely not a joke. It's a family name, I said, and then to change the subject, I added, my dad and I found him. What do you mean found him? Akira asked. I took another tiny nibble of pickle. I was hoping my tongue would get numb to the taste, but it was just as awful as the first bite. He was a stray, I explained. My dad's a game warden, and he got a call saying a rabbit was stuck in a lady's fence. I went with him, and when we got there, it was a pet bunny, not a wild one. I would love to rescue animals, Akira said. How do you know the bunny was a pet? We only have New England cottontails and snowshoe hares in Maine, I explained. I knew just by looking that he wasn't either of those. Lappy is a honey-colored with a brown nose. This was going really well. I felt like I had finally broken through the friendship wall and was making progress. You're lucky he wasn't a girl, Akira said. My friend got a pet rabbit and it had babies. So they had 6 rabbits instead of 1. I nodded, though it did sound like fun to have baby bunnies at our house. My dad checked. He's definitely a boy. Bunnies are cute, but they don't do much, Martha said. They just sit and stare at you. I didn't think at all. Of course, Lapie wasn't like Molly and Maggie. They liked to play and would sit on the couch with us. Lapie is a quiet, kind of fun, but I'd love to watch him pull down his ears with his paws to groom them. And it's so cute when he flops onto his side or races around the room. And he liked me. I could tell every time he chinned me or rose up on his hind legs to see what I was doing, or if I'd brought him a treat. I'd like to meet Lapie, Leah said. Maybe I could come over sometime. I was already planning to bring Lapie to school, but having Leah over to my house would be great too. Sure, and if you needed a ride, my mom could pick you up and bring you home. Wait, did that sound desperate? I mean, if you wanted to. That would be fun, Leah said. Maybe my mom could call yours. I'll give you our phone number. We hadn't made specific plans, but almost. I popped the rest of the pickle in my mouth. Our new neighbors lost a rabbit over the summer, Iris announced. I saw posters for it. The pickle was so sour that I wanted to gag. I chewed fast to get rid of it. There was even a reward of $50, Iris added. I stopped chewing. Wait, what? Did you try to find out who your bunny belonged to, Emma? Martha tilted her head sympathetically. Maybe it's the same one. The same bunny? I swallowed the pickle as fast as I could. We took Lapie to the shelter, and the lady checked on the computer about lost pets, I said. No one had reported him missing, and she promised she'd call me if someone did. I didn't see any posters, Leah said to Iris. Where were they? On a few telephone poles, Iris said. You weren't home much this summer. That's true, Leah said. I went to see my cousins in Oregon, and then I went to camp. I'm sorry, Emma, but maybe you could get the reward, Martha said. It's not him, I firmly replied. It just couldn't be. The lady at the shelter said it looked like he'd been on his own for a while. She said sometimes people let pet bunnies go thinking they'll survive in the wild even though they won't. I'm sure that's what happened. Are the posters still up? Akira asked Iris. Iris shook her head. It was a while ago that I saw them. My mom told me the family's last name is Abbott, though. They moved into a big house at the end of Morton Street. The shelter lady said people call right away when they want their pets back. I fought to keep the mildly interested look on my face, but inside my heart was speeding. Iris said they're new. Maybe they didn't know there was a shelter, Akira said. Iris, maybe you and I could walk to their house and ask them, Leah suggested. No. Let me check with them, I said quickly. I bet my brother can find out their phone number for me, or my dad could get it for me. That way, they can ask me questions. I didn't want to call, but I needed time to think. I took a pen and wrote on my napkin. Iris looked over the words I had written. Abbott, Morton Street. Yep, she said. That's it. I couldn't help thinking her words were truer than I wanted them to be. Yep, that's it. Do you think that Lapie might belong to them?
Oh, I hope not.
That would be so sad.
Oh, I might just have to go ahead and read the next chapter.
Well, we're getting ready to read the next chapter. So thanks for reading with us tonight, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.